Hello, everybody. This is Bob Anderson, and it is May 14th, 2024. And I just want to go over a couple of trades that I've taken today, some observations that I had while doing them, and I'm done. I mean, it's 11 o'clock. I was done probably 30 minutes ago. Matter of fact, I was done. I'm looking at my last trade. Yeah, about 30 minutes ago. And I just want to kind of go over what I was looking at, blah, blah, blah. I didn't do one of these videos yesterday. By the way, we had no news yesterday. I got into two trades, and I personally don't even remember what instruments or instrument. Uh, I was looking for 600 bucks. In both cases, the market rolled up in my favor and then came back and took me out. I think I made 100 bucks total for the day, something like that. It was minor. Today was a much more successful day. Uh, Man, I hit a beautiful trade in gold. I hit one pretty good trade in the NQ. The main thing that I noticed yesterday, because I left my office to go do some things yesterday, and then I came back, and I looked at my charts and I went, "Oh my gosh!" The overnight open had an absolute gangbuster trade in the NQ yesterday afternoon. And the funny part was the whole morning, I kept looking at the chart and going, please come do the overnight open. Please come do the overnight open. I'll show you on my chart why I kept saying, please come do the overnight open. And then I just said, well, I'm not sitting here all day. And I left, come back, and whoa. So anyway, so today I took two overnight open trades in the NQ. One that I got, they tick hunted me and got me. And then the second one, I I made the money I was looking for, but you'll see that I left a king's ransom on the table, which shows you the power of that trade. Okay, so those are those are some of those are I'm going to talk about. I'm going to show those the overnight open trades from yesterday that I missed, the two that I took today, and I'm going to show you one gold line trade, 1 minute 9 EMA trade that I took in gold, and I'm going to show you some 5 minute red line trades that I did not take, but what makes them in my mind um, high probability trades. Okay, versus some others. All right, so let me get to that, and we'll go from there. All right. Okay. First off, I want to start. I want to talk about just yesterday's overnight open trade uh, in the NQ that I didn't take, but why I kept saying do it, do it, do it, do it, and then what happened when it finally did. And I mean, I've talked about this before. The thing about the overnight open is you could sit here all damn day long and it never happens. Or it can happen a couple times in a day. It's not like other trades setups that I have. But oh my God, when it hits, oh my God, yeah, when it hits, I mean, Anyway, so let's talk about that. So here's NQ yesterday. All right, so the NQ, let's get all the way to midnight. Here's midnight. If I pull it over here, you'll see here's midnight right in here. Okay, so what happened? The market opened, created the overnight open price, went across, went above, and I mean, and by the way, touched it right here. Touched it. That's what that line is right there. Touched the overnight open, and then off it went for the rest of the evening, all the way through the early morning and whatnot. So me, knowing that this is something that the market likes to gravitate down to and then back up if they've picked a side of the market they're going to trade in a consolidating market day. So what does that mean? Well, what does that mean? Well, that means we get over here to say 9:30, right? Here's the market open, comes down, doesn't go to the overnight open, rolls back up, and we're doing this stuff. You see this stuff? That means it's not a trending day. It's not. And by the way, there was no news yesterday. There's really from here to here, even after the market opens. I mean, there's not much range. So comes down here. I'm all excited. I'm thinking about taking a long off of it. Rolls back up. Comes back down here again. I'm getting all excited thinking about taking a long on it. Rolls back up. I mean, that's it. And somewhere in all this, I had said, I'm done. I had two trades. I'm gonna think. I think they were actually. I think they both were in gold, and I was trying to get $600 out of them, and they just didn't. And I got like $100 from hitting my stop, and I just called it a day. So then I go, because I've got things to do, folks. I have a job. So let's talk about what happened after I decided I no longer wanted to sit around and wait. So we get to 1:30 in the afternoon, and what does the market do? The market says, we want to make that Bob guy right, but we don't want him to make money off of it. So they slam it down into the overnight open right there, and then slam it all the way up. And it continued and continued and continued and continued and continued and continued all the way to the end of the day to stay away from the overnight open. Meaning they came down here just to visit, to clean out all the stops and then run it up. Now look at these candles. For those of you that trade the NQ, let me blow this up so you can see this. Look at these candles. This is after the darn thing's been sitting in consolidation to your left for hours. Now, do you think that's by magic that they literally went down to here and then ran it right back up? That's not by magic, folks. That's not by accident. And where did they run it to? They ran it right back to right back to my 5-minute 21 SMA. Right back to it. Anyways, I came back from my meeting and I looked at that and I went, well, shit, I could have made more money on that one trade than I'm going to make in my modular business this month. Housing business sucks, by the way, just in case any of you are wondering. Housing business sucks right now. Anyways, so there it is. Unbelievable. So let's fast forward to today and see what we got going on. Let me blow this up. So what do we got going on today in the NQ? Well, again, we get to the morning. We had a crossover. This is like this is like midnight crossover up. Came down, actually hit the overnight open here, ran back up to the pivot, and then came back, and then after it came back and did it twice. I mean, it went and did it twice, but all that's like pre-market stuff going on early morning. But then the news hit. We had quite a bit of news at 8:30, and so the market just shabam right down through. So once you get past all the noise and confusion and the news and all that stuff, it's time to start paying attention. Oh, and the open, it's time to start paying attention. So that's what I did. I started paying attention. Now, where did I start paying attention? Well, the first place I started paying attention was once we ran up, created new daily high and Donchian high within the last hour, smooth pullback, boom, bam. I had my stop sliding up underneath all this stuff. Bam, I got knocked out. Didn't work. By the way, for those of you that don't know, there are losing trades. There are losing trades. Okay. So then I'm sitting there and I'm like, what a pain in the ass. Right. So then I'm thinking to myself, now let me blow this up a little more so I can really focus in on what I was thinking here. So then I'm kind of looking at this and I'm going, okay, well, they're going to run it down to the overnight open. That's in my mind, which happens to be sitting right at my 5-minute 21 SMA. By the way, what all these lines are and stuff on the chart are in the description below so that you can duplicate these charts simply. It's all free stuff off of Ninja. Anyways, so I did not like the fact that this came down and almost touched, then rolled back up and then rolled down. I didn't really like that. So I went in light. I went in with one contract, which was a very fortunate thing. It came back up, hit this 9 EMA again, slammed out. My stop was one tick below the entry candle and boom, ticked me out. Now, if you're an experienced trader, you will recognize when the market tick hunted. It doesn't mean that you should anticipate them tick hunting. Okay. You know, stop hunting, I call it. Sorry, stop hunting. You should not anticipate that because it's very possible that this could have just slammed right on down through and the market would have been then playing from the downside of the market instead of from the long side. So, I mean, conservativeness is still, you know, the thought process here. But when I saw that they immediately reversed it after they hit those stops, I was back in it again. And I had my this is where trading can just start really screwing with you mentally, okay? Because I'm looking to my left and I see this pivot that you can say, well, we rotated down to here. Now, if we can rotate back up to that general pivot, that would be a reasonable expectation on my part. So I had my target right around here. Okay. This thing rolled right up, came back down, rolled right up. And I said, I'm not. I came back down again into the 9, rolled up. And I said, I'm not sitting around for this. Put my stop here and slam. I mean, I had my stop in the right spot because that thing slammed right on through me. I mean, as soon as I got stopped out, everybody went. I mean, everybody lined up behind me, and so I made money on that second trade. Not much. Not probably covered the cost of the first trade that I lost. To be honest with you, yeah, probably covered maybe a little more than that. I still haven't recovered this one from here to here. I still haven't recovered that one yet. Probably recovered this one, maybe commissions. So then I'm sitting there and I watched. I said, wham, wham, wham. They went straight down, created. Now, okay. So what am I looking at? Okay, in my mind, I'm trying to figure out. Okay, are they just testing this overnight open again, or are we rolling over? Okay, so I mean, and this is all just this is. I mean, honestly, I know people don't get that. This is why that's why you gotta have your wins bigger than your losses, because I've got an argument for either side. I'm going to tell you what the argument is. Okay. Argument for why it's going to roll over is because this pivot is still higher than this pivot. So if this rolls down, if this follows that trend of pivots, then this should be going down here. So that's an argument for it to go short. Not that I would take a short against the overnight open, but what's the argument that it's going to go long? Well, the argument that it's going to go long is that when this candle came down, this one right here, it wasn't lower than this candle here. which means if this candle right here, and this is, and you got to kind of, it's all part of just thinking and whatnot. But if you look at this pivot here, if it rotates back up, which I took the long there, and I actually took 2 contracts. If you took the long there off this rotation, it was, by the way, that was the break of this candle to the left. That's why I had that entry. But if this does not break this, then this may be the new pivot to the upside, and it has all the support of the 21 SMA on the 5-minute and the overnight open again. Okay, so I got in here and I put my targets up here, and boom, I got out. Look at that. Oh my God. Yeah. So even if you read the market right, doesn't mean you're going to do it right. I mean, now don't get me wrong. That was some good profit there. Okay. But the reality of it is, I initially was looking for this high right here. And to be honest with you, this candle got into there was some major vibrating there, because, and I'm going to tell you why there was major vibrating right on this candle right here. Okay. It was major vibrating because they know if this pivot gets broken from this higher low than this one, that this is what's going to happen. Okay. I mean, it's chart traders know this. So I'm sitting there watching that battle. I'm looking at the fact that I'm down a few bucks, and and I'm looking at, if I had done this with 1 contract instead of 2, I would have been much more likely to hold on to it, is my point. But because I jumped in this damn thing with 2, and it went up to theirs, and whatever, I was like, so I closed them out. Okay. So that's kind of what I did there. I used the overnight open and even the 21 SMA as my main sources of generating my profits today. Okay. So let's just talk about the charts a little more here to kind of see if anything's going on. Be honest with you, when this rotated down, I was kind of thinking they might do it again. But the reality of it is, they took the 21 SMA and supported it, and it's probably going to rotate back up to the daily high, to be honest with you. But anyways, so does everybody kind of see my thought process there, and the fact that I kind of was trying to catch the wave, which the 9 EMA rotation back. I mean, nice smooth pullback. This high, that high is lower than this high. This 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 high is lower than this high. Boom, the break. I mean, that is a classic V-shaped trade pattern. My mistake, personally, is that this one ticked below this one by a tick. I mean, the NQ is hard to see these ticks. I mean, it is so hard to see. But we had a rotation down and up here, which, in micro level, this darn thing did pivot below it by a tick or two. I'm not as focused on that stuff with the NQ as I am with gold or oil. These pivot levels that do and do not get broken can really show you what to expect next. And this is a perfect example. This one broke this rotation back, pivot, and then up. It broke it by a tick or two, and then it rolled up and rolled over. So, anyways, um, so truth be known, yeah, I probably should. I mean, I probably shouldn't have taken it. Of course, this is all after the fact that I'm saying this. So, I mean, while I'm in the heat of battle, I mean, I got to kind of, I got to kind of go with it. So, last thing I'm going to show is I'm going to show gold today, and what I plan on showing you in gold is I plan on showing you because I think it's patterns on how the 21 5-minute red line can be traded in your advantage. It's kind of hard to see here because we also have the overnight open there. So which one really was the one to be trusting? I just said, well, hell, they're both there and they're both in agreement. So let me trade them. Okay. So let me grab gold chart, get it set up, and I'm gonna put that on last year. All right. Okay. So here's gold. Let me interject on one thing before I get too far into gold. Some of you may be asking me, well, Bob, why aren't you trading oil? I thought that's your favorite instrument. It is my favorite instrument in general. The problem is gold has done, not gold, oil has done, oil has gone into a zone and it's just sitting in that zone. And I'm not talking about today. I'm talking about for the last couple weeks at least. That zone is that equilibrium that the market really supports about $80 a barrel of oil right now. And so I take, for example, I look at oil today. Let me look at it. I guess it did go down quite a bit. That back down from $79 to $78. But I mean, there's no volume to it. There's no rotation. There's no. I mean, look to your left. Are you seeing? Are you seeing that the market is respecting the lines that you have on your chart? And if it's not, then you may not want to trade it. Even if it is it moving enough for you to make it profitable to even trade? That is really the biggest issue that I have with oil lately. Is there's just even if I get into a great trade, where it's just like it met all my rules and whatever, I'm not getting 20 to 30 ticks out of it. I might be getting 5. So there's no sense in beating my head against the wall. I can't make the market move. I got to find the market that's moving. Hey, that should be the description of today's video. I can't make the market move. I have to go find the market that is moving. So let's talk about gold. Why is gold moving? Well, gold's been moving for quite a while now because we got idiots running the country and they just keep printing money and they keep running trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars in deficits. So, and all Jerome Powell has to do is push a button and we digitally made the money that everybody thought we didn't have to spend. Well, because we didn't have it to spend. But anyways, that's a different story. So gold has just been insane for probably the last 6 months to a year. And by the way, I remember days when oil was like that. When there was literally one time, at least in a year-long period, where oil was just like insane. And if you traded it, you made a lot of money. But anyways, so you gotta adapt and rotate to what's going on. So let's talk about gold here for a second. Here's some trades I took. By the way, gold, you got to remember, opens up at 8:20 in the morning, and then it carries out to 15 minutes to put you out at 8:35, and then you got to get past the news. So let's just talk about the news for a second. Let's just talk about the news for a second. What time was the news? The news was at 8:30. 8:30. Huh. Let's look at the market pre that. Let's just do some observations here. It opened up over here, okay? Went down below the overnight open, back above the overnight open, created some daily high, back down to the overnight open at like 2 in the morning, rotated back up, back down to the overnight open, rotated back up. As soon as it broke this shelf here, wham, this shelf that was created here, wham, gone. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of respect for the overnight open. Look what happened at the news. Now, I didn't trade this because I'm not insane. But this is exactly where price went to when the 8:30 news hit. And this was the whole consolidation zone that was created before that for hours. And then it reached down, cleaned out all those stops from people that don't know about this line that are swing traders, and then rotated it all the way back up to the high. That's insane. But that right there is what gives me confidence, because my lines and my trading strategy philosophy appears to be working in gold right now. So I'm focusing on that, and I'm focusing on, the things that do seem to do that right now. Still does it in oil. The problem is I don't get anything for it. So, I did not take this trade, but this was the 8:30 news. Is that not insane? To give you a perspective, this is 42.30, and this is 52.30 right here. Okay, that's $1,000 with one contract. That's $1,000 swing. That's $1,500 swing. That's $2,000 swing. Okay, so is this line powerful? I think so. I don't know. Just an observation. So, anyways, what could you have possibly done? Well, there's a couple things you could have possibly done, in my opinion. One is you could have, and this is something I've talked about. I've talked about when the market makes a decision which side of the market it wants to play on, you can potentially take advantage of that. And this right here is just means they want to be long. I mean, this means they want to be long. Okay, this crossing over this red line and then sitting on it, that's interesting. Rolled back up, came back down, sat on it again, this time with the 9 EMA, wham. Now, why did I not take that trade? Well, I literally, I don't know. I literally was just, I don't know. Anyways, but that's okay. That's okay. It's okay. Again, I would rather miss a trade that substantiates, my lines and what I perceive is going on, and than to have it not do what I thought it was going to do, because then I start losing confidence. Okay. So then we have, I wish people would quit texting me while I'm doing these videos. Jesus. Anyways, so up, down, didn't get into the gold line, back up, didn't create a new high, back down. No trade here. Absolutely none. Why is there no trade here? Well, because we went down, didn't get into the 9 EMA, came back up, didn't create a new high, and then the pullbacks weren't smooth. So this is definitely not something I'm looking at. Okay. So then we rotated back up, created a new high, down, 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 down. Boom. Why did I not take this one? Well, because I'm going to tell you, I have another little rule in my mind with gold. Gold is pretty It's thinly traded, and it can get really sporadic when, say, oil opens, but really when the equity markets open. So when this started sitting on here and creating these lows, it was like 9:20, and I'm like, nah, the equity market's open in 10 minutes. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. So it rotates back down. Now let's just talk right here for a second. Equity markets have opened. Market came down. We came from a daily high back down to a 21 5-minute SMA. And what do you think it did? Went right back to the high. Went right back to the high. Anyways, so what now, did I take that trade? No, I didn't take that trade. Again, it's still too close to the equity market for me. Okay. What trade did I take? Well, I did take this trade right here. Let me, it's kind of hard to get it to expand. But anyways, we had this come back into the gold line, and it just sat there. It just sat there. It sat inside the gold line without going short. Okay, we crossed over this gold line right here. We crossed over this gold line, went up, and we sat right on this gold line. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, well, heck, I think, because it was one, two, three, four candles just sitting there with a level that had been created. And I said, shit. And I dropped an order right down in here for 2 contracts with the intent of getting 20 ticks out of it, because each one of these bottoms kept going up too. And we're compressing right into that 9 EMA. And it's not losing it to the south. It keeps punching it back up to the north. Boom, there's 20 ticks, whatever. I'm done with that. Okay. Went from there to there, 20 ticks. That was a nice trade, actually, because I 2 contracted that. That was $400. And I had my stop right underneath this candle here, because in my mind, if we rotate below any of these candles to my left, once this candle was created right here, this green candle, once that was created, we rotate below any of these candles to my left, we're going back down to this 21 SMA. So I mean, did I get a little lucky? Yeah, probably. I probably did. So, anyways, let's look at what happens next. Okay, we created a daily high, rotated down, rotated up, still hadn't touched the 9 EMA. So this invalidated it. See how this rotated higher than this? You got a lower high, lower high, lower high. So I'm looking at this, but I got to actually pierce my 9 EMA as my trigger. It hadn't done it yet, and it went higher than this one. So I said, nope, not taking it. And I was correct, and down it went. So now I'm sitting here and I'm looking at it. I'm going, okay, now what? Well, we have a daily high. We're back down onto this 21 SMA. We hadn't touched the 21. We hadn't pierced the 21 SMA yet. Now we have. Okay, so we came off of a daily high or a Donchian 60-minute thing. Again, it's all about creating pivots, about creating trends. Where's our pivots? Well, our pivots are here and here. That brought us here. Okay, are we below this pivot? Yeah, but this is a 9 EMA pivot. It's not a bigger picture pivot. It's a little 9 EMA pivot versus a 21 SMA 5-minute candle, 5-minute chart pivot. These totally different type pivots. Okay. So what happened? Whoa. Okay. Hold on. I like the excitement because I'll be perfectly honest. I don't remember these things playing out. I swear to God. I just know what I'm looking for. So I would be looking for a potential long here. Okay. I would be, oh, I remember this now. Yes, there was a potential long here. This was when I was in the middle of dealing with an NQ trade. This is the exact same time I was dealing with an NQ trade. So I didn't take this trade. That's right. I remember now. I got out of an NQ trade. You'll see what happens here in a minute. I remember now. Jesus, I swear I'm brain dead. So off we go, right? And I ended up taking it again. I ended up taking it myself right here. Okay, because I saw it sitting on it. It came back down, and I took a long right here. I mean, it is what it is. And off it went. I mean, as soon as I got in, it was like boom, it's gone. And I grabbed my stop to follow because I was like, okay, it created two candles in a row with a top. And I said to myself, they're either going to tick through that top and rotate it back down, or they're going to tick through that top and take off. Well, they ticked through that top, rotated back down there, and I got stopped out. I mean, I just got chickened. But I mean, I made some money there. I went from here to here. What did I make? $240. $240. But anyways, but the point of this is this right here. This created a new daily high or a Donchian 60-minute high, and it was a relatively straight for a 5 minute. Now remember, these are five. They got to visualize in your mind. This is a 5 minute moving average. This 21 SMA. That's why I have it at 105 on the chart. It's a 5 minute moving average. So the people trading the 5 minute moving average are seeing 5 minute candles, not 1 minute candles. So to them, this is a smooth pullback. Those of you know what I'm talking about, you'll know what I mean. This is a smooth pullback. It's not like a 1 minute candle with a 1 minute chart, which is the 9 EMA gold line. That smooth pullback is the individual candles you're seeing. Okay. And the same thing, if you guys remember, I used to trade with a 5 minute chart to the right. The problem is then I got two charts for every instrument, and that kind of really hinders my ability to see which markets are moving and which ones aren't to trade. Okay. This is the same concept over here. This is a 5 minute moving average down here. Well, this is a smooth pullback for a 5 minute moving average. Very smooth. And look what it did. Went back up through the daily high. Now, did this one go back through the daily high? I don't know. Let's see. I don't remember. Sure had a nice, huge pullback here. Jesus. It's back on here. Okay. I'm going to stop. Let's stop. Time out right here. Let's talk about something. So we are now back at the 5 minute 21 SMA right here. Okay. I would not be taking this trade. You'd be like, well, why not, Bob? Well, okay. Because this is not higher than this. So in my mind, we may be rotating back down. Okay. And to do that, they gotta start pushing through the levels. And if the place they came from to get to those levels is lower than the place they came from to get to those levels the first time, then that shows you that they're trying to stair step it down. Let's see if they did. I honestly do not know, but I would not be taking this because of what I just said. Okay. I really don't know. Oh, hold on here. Helps if I get on my. Okay. That's all right. Okay. I mean, I could be totally wrong. Don't know. Oh, 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 yeah. Not good. I was correct. I mean, I didn't know because I started this video before we even got to this time, or I started preparing for it. Yeah, see, there we go. Yeah, that's how you know they're going to give up the ghost. You know, we didn't come from a higher place, recently higher place when we came back here. That's just signs they're going to give up the ghost. Anyways, those are my trades for the day. Those are my thoughts for the day. Down below is my are what these lines are, and I'm going to link a video to the overnight open. The overnight open is the most. I showed you two examples, one in gold and one in NQ, where the overnight open is the most powerful line on your chart that you could possibly put on your chart. I don't give a shit about VWAP. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff. The most powerful line that you could have on your chart is that overnight open. And until you recognize that thing on your chart, you know, good luck. Hopefully you're trading not around it. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.